Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling.
It all began with a situation that, at first glance, sounded almost too ordinary to matter in the fast-moving world of entertainment news. A missing phone, a brief moment of confusion, a search that led nowhere. Yet within hours, what seemed like a simple personal inconvenience began to evolve into something far more complex, drawing attention from fans, insiders, and industry watchers across social media platforms. According to circulating accounts and unverified reports, Liu Yunning found himself at the center of an unexpected chain of events that would soon involve meetings, legal representatives, and rising tension behind closed doors. The situation escalated when connections were drawn to individuals linked to Zhao Lusi's professional circle, ultimately leading to a highly sensitive encounter at a former agency office in Beijing. What makes this story so compelling is not just the missing device itself, but the unanswered questions surrounding it. Why did this incident escalate so quickly? Why were formal representatives involved? And what could possibly be at stake that transformed a lost phone into a matter requiring urgent attention and face-to-face confrontation? As speculation continues to circulate online, audiences are left trying to piece together a timeline that remains incomplete, fragmented, and surrounded by uncertainty. And in the middle of it all stands a narrative filled with tension, unanswered motives, and the kind of ambiguity that keeps viewers watching until the very last second. In the days leading up to the reported confrontation, accounts suggest that Liu Yunning had been attending an industry gathering where numerous entertainment professionals were present. It was described as a routine networking environment, filled with conversations, introductions, and the usual movement between groups that characterizes such events. At some point during the evening, it was reportedly noticed that his phone was no longer in his possession. At first, there was no immediate alarm, as misplaced items are not uncommon in crowded professional settings. However, as attempts to locate the device failed and calls reportedly went unanswered, concern began to grow. The phone appeared to have been switched off or made unreachable, intensifying the uncertainty surrounding its disappearance. What initially seemed like a simple case of misplacement soon became the starting point of a much larger narrative. As time passed, attention shifted from the question of where the phone had gone to who might have been in proximity at the moment it disappeared. According to speculative accounts circulating online, attention gradually turned toward individuals connected to the wider professional network surrounding Zhao Lusi. It is important to note that these claims remain unverified and part of ongoing public discussion rather than confirmed fact. Nevertheless, within entertainment circles, such connections are often enough to spark deeper scrutiny, especially when trust, reputation, and sensitive information are perceived to be at stake. The idea that a personal device belonging to a public figure could contain private conversations, business discussions, or unreleased material only added to the intensity of speculation. What followed was not a typical private resolution, but instead a move toward formal discussion. Reports suggest that Liu Yunning, accompanied by legal representatives, requested a meeting with a former agency associated in some capacity with Zhao Lusi's professional past. The decision to escalate the matter to an institutional setting rather than handling it quietly raised eyebrows among observers. It indicated that regardless of the final truth, the perceived seriousness of the situation had reached a level where informal communication was no longer considered sufficient. For the agency involved, the sudden appearance of accusations created a moment of confusion and defensiveness, particularly as they attempted to clarify their current level of involvement with the individuals mentioned. Inside the meeting room, according to sources familiar with the situation, the atmosphere was described as tense from the outset. Both sides reportedly entered with legal support, reflecting how quickly the situation had escalated beyond personal disagreement into a matter with potential reputational consequences. On one side, there were assertions and timelines attempting to reconstruct the moment the phone was lost and identify possible points of contact. On the other side, there were firm denials of wrongdoing and calls for clear evidence before any conclusions could be drawn. The discussion, as described by those aware of it, did not move toward immediate resolution. Instead, it reflected the kind of standoff that often emerges when uncertainty meets high stakes, and when assumptions begin to collide with formal legal caution. As the conversation unfolded, the central focus repeatedly returned to the same unresolved question: what exactly happened to the device, and why has its disappearance triggered such a significant response? In modern entertainment environments, smartphones are more than communication tools. They can contain private exchanges, sensitive business arrangements, creative materials, and personal content that individuals may be deeply protective of. The possibility that such information could be exposed, misused, or accessed without permission is often enough to elevate concern far beyond the value of the device itself. This context has led to widespread speculation online, with audiences debating whether the situation reflects a simple misunderstanding, a security lapse, or something more deliberate. At the same time, it is important to acknowledge that no verified evidence has publicly confirmed any of the more serious allegations circulating in online discussions. Much of the narrative remains based on second-hand accounts, interpretations, and assumptions that have developed as the story spread across social platforms. This has created a situation where perception and speculation often travel faster than verified information, leaving room for conflicting versions of events to coexist without clear resolution. In such environments, public figures can quickly find themselves associated with narratives that extend beyond their direct involvement, simply through proximity or professional connection. Zhao Lusi's position in this situation has also been the subject of considerable public discussion. According to circulating reports, she was not directly involved in the incident itself and was reportedly taken by surprise when her name became connected to the broader narrative. The association, however indirect, has nevertheless placed her in a challenging position, as public attention often extends to anyone linked through professional or managerial relationships. This reflects a recurring dynamic in the entertainment industry, where individuals can find themselves drawn into controversies not through personal action, but through association within complex professional networks. Observers have noted that such situations can be particularly difficult to navigate, as public perception does not always distinguish between direct involvement and peripheral connection. Meanwhile, the former agency at the center of the meeting has reportedly adopted a cautious and defensive stance. Their position appears focused on clarifying boundaries of responsibility and distancing themselves from actions that may fall outside their current operational control. At the same time, there are suggestions that internal reviews may be taking place to better understand whether any of their former associates could have been involved in the incident. This dual approach, both defensive and investigative, reflects the delicate balance organizations often attempt to maintain when faced with allegations that could impact their reputation. As discussions continue online, the public reaction has been divided, and some viewers express concern and empathy, emphasizing the importance of privacy and the seriousness of potential device-related breaches. Others remain cautious, highlighting the lack of confirmed evidence and warning against drawing conclusions too quickly. This split in opinion has contributed to the story's continued visibility as debate itself becomes part of the narrative's momentum. In many ways, the uncertainty surrounding the situation is what sustains interest, as audiences remain engaged in the search for clarity that has yet to fully emerge. What makes this case particularly compelling is not only the individuals involved, but the broader questions it raises about trust, privacy, and the fragile nature of reputation in the digital age. Quote, in a world where a single device can hold vast amounts of personal and professional information, the loss of control over that device can feel far more significant than the physical object itself. It becomes a question of security, boundaries, and the invisible lines that separate public image from private reality. And as this story continues to unfold in fragments, it serves as a reminder of how quickly uncertainty can evolve into widespread speculation when clear answers are not immediately available. For now, the situation remains unresolved, with no definitive conclusion publicly confirmed. The missing phone has become a symbol of a much larger conversation about information, privacy, and perception within the entertainment industry. And as audiences continue to follow updates, one question remains at the center of it all. What is the full truth behind this unfolding story? And when, if ever, will it be clearly revealed? Before we wrap up today's update, I want to take a moment to sincerely thank you for staying with us through this unfolding story. Your continued support means everything to Update X 24 hours, and it allows us to keep bringing you detailed, balanced, and engaging coverage of the latest entertainment developments. If you found this story interesting, consider subscribing to the channel so you never miss our next update. We regularly explore trending topics, celebrity developments, and behind-the-scenes stories from the entertainment world, always with a focus on clarity, respect, and thoughtful storytelling. Your engagement helps shape the future of this channel, and we truly appreciate every like, each comment, and share. Stay tuned because the next update may reveal even more layers to this developing situation.